Just in time for the holiday season, we are listing the craziest private collection ever in our watch shop. We have 15 incredible watches that are rarely ever seen to hit the market. And the best part is each one of them is in stunning mint condition. Truly, some of these watches are more than 50 years old and still look brand new. We have heavy hitters from the likes of Patek, Cartier, Piaget, and more that we get to take a look at today. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this amazing watch collection. All right, we'll start with the first two, which are Ebel's. Ebel is a brand that some of the most notable collectors have begun to pay attention to, and that's all thanks to their extremely high quality and unique watches from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. This one that we have here is a limited edition platinum Le Modulor with fewer than 99 examples ever produced. It weighs a whole lot. It is a literal brick of platinum. And this watch also features a phenomenal in-house quality chronograph movement, an open caseback, and a beautiful guilloche blue dial with mother of pearl registers. This watch also comes with its original box and papers. Right next to it is the classic Ebel El Primero chronograph. This watch is the first series of the El Primero, which we can see because of its non-luminous hands. This watch is also in new old stock condition, which is incredible given that it is over 40 years old. The bracelet on it is the unique wave bracelet, and it is one of the most beautiful and best wearing bracelets I have personally ever handled. This watch was made famous in the TV show Miami Vice, as it was worn by Don Johnson, which is the actor that played the main role in perhaps the most legendary TV show in the 1980s. Next is a very rare Harry Winston. Many of you know of Harry Winston as one of the finest jewelers in the world, but they also produced some of the most complicated watches. This particular example is historically important, and that's because it is the first ever bi-retrograde perpetual calendar, which was designed by world-renowned watchmakers Roger Dubuis and Jean-Marc Wederick. This is the movement that made Roger Dubuis famous, and then he went on to start his own eponymous brand. Very few of these watches were ever made. Personally, we have only been able to find 3 or 4 examples to ever hit the market with the original bracelet like this example. Now, the Blancpain Perpetual Calendar, reference 5395, designed by the world-famous watchmaker Jean-Claude Biver. This watch is one of the 6 masterpieces in his collection. For those of you who don't know, Frère was one of the most important manufacturers of bracelets. They were at the top and also made bracelets for the top brands before they were bought out by Rolex. This is one of the best wearing watches I have ever handled. It's a perpetual calendar in a 34mm case, which is absolutely perfect, and it even comes with its original box and papers. Next to it, we have another Blancpain, this time the reference 2185 Flyback chronograph. A totally different watch, this time in rose gold with a black dial and limited to 250 pieces. And in my opinion, out of all 3 precious metal cases of the Flyback, the rose gold is the top one to own. It's a 38mm case that wears amazingly with an open caseback, guilloche rotor, and its original rose gold deployant. Alright, so if these heavy hitters weren't enough, we have a truly special watch up next. This is the Piaget Emperador 9131. It's fully linked and weighs over 200 grams. That's more than 7 ounces of solid gold on this watch. It's unpolished with a beautiful bark finish bracelet. The dial is a pristine piece of jade stone with no cracks or flaws. This is one of, if not the most important Piaget ever made. It paved the way for the Piaget Polo, and in my opinion, it is much more rare and special than the Polo. It's also important to understand that this watch has a manually wound movement, while many of these had quartz movements. This watch gets even better, and that's because most of these Piagets are almost never found with their original box and papers. This one is the original complete set, but even crazier, the papers show that this watch was sold by Cartier. So we have Cartier signed papers that come with this beautiful Piaget Emperador. Next to the crazy Piaget, we have two beautiful Roger Dubuis Muchmores. These for me are a personal favorite. I am always hunting for them because they offer such incredible value. This is a very high quality watch, and in my personal opinion, it could be the next best thing, alongside the rise in popularity of the Cartier tank. These two are the Muchmore M22 and M25. They have beautiful solid gold cases, the dials are amazing with large Arabic numerals, and the movements are Geneva sealed, which means that they have received the highest quality treatment in the Swiss watchmaking industry. These were made in limited numbers of only 28 examples for each variation. If you appreciate true watchmaking and beautiful watches like this, then trust me, the Muchmore deserves your attention. Another heavy hitter, a ridiculous stone dial Parmigiani. It's a very rare watch, and this one comes as a complete set with a beautiful dial and case. It's believed that there are fewer than 30 examples of the onyx stone Toric classics, and we have one right here in this collection. The 36mm case wears great, and the mix of rose gold and onyx stone on the dial is absolutely fantastic. It's a true collector's complete set with its original box and papers. Next to the Parmigiani is a modern watch, but hands down, this is the best modern dress watch on the current market. This is the Chopard L.U.C 1860. The watch features a solid gold dial that is rendered in salmon guilloche finishing inside a perfect 36mm case. The watch also features the world famous caliber 1.96 movement, which most experts state is one of the best micro-rotor automatic movements ever made. It took Chopard more than 4 years to design this movement. It just doesn't get better than that. And this watch is also virtually impossible to get from Chopard. If it's offered to you, you are probably one of their top clients, and very few of these are produced every year. It's a hard watch to get, and there are virtually none available on the secondary market. Now we get into the extremely rare stuff. Here we have 3 vintage Cartiers, and as many of you know, true vintage Cartiers are very hard to find, and they are often not in the best condition. But we managed to have 3 superb examples right here on our desk. First, we have the Cartier tank Obus. Obus means shell, like the shell of a bullet, which refers to these lugs on the Cartier case. This Obus has a flawless peristyle with its original large crown and the original deployant. To add, it is in mint unpolished condition. Second to that one, we have the mid-size Cintree, which also features a flawless peristyle and the original large crown and deployant. There are 2 surprising things on this watch. First, the condition. This is one of the sharpest cases we have ever seen on a vintage Cartier. It is without a doubt unpolished and likely sat in a drawer for many years, barely ever being worn. Second is that this watch actually dates to 1981, and with our research and discussing with some collectors, we could not find another one as late as this. I truly believe that this may be the last ever produced mid-size Cintree to come to market. A vintage Cintree is already rare enough. To add to it, the condition of this example in the serial is what a collector dreams of. The last of the 3 Cartiers is another Cintree, and this time it's the very uncommon small size Cintree. This one is from the early 1960s, featuring a JLC movement. Another major surprise is this one is one of the earliest serial numbers for the small size Cintree. It's also in unpolished condition, and it has the extremely rare and very desirable cream colored Cartier only dial. This means that it only says Cartier, no Paris or anything else under the 6 o'clock. It's a truly legendary vintage Cartier, and in my opinion, this is the pinnacle of Cartier collecting. It's my favorite size of the Cintree, and this one even comes with its original large crown and deployant also. To end it off, we have 2 vintage Patek Philippe's. First is the reference 3923 Calatrava. It's a beautiful watch, drawing a lot of its design from Patek Philippe's famous reference 96. This one is also unpolished with the original Patek Philippe strap, buckle, box, and booklets. It is a fantastic example, and it is a rare rose gold configuration. Then we have what is perhaps the most important dress watch ever produced. It's the Patek Philippe Reference 96, the true original Calatrava. The 96 is the epitome of timeless dress watch design. This particular 96 comes from the second to last year of production. It features the amagnetic movement and has a flawless and mid dial with an unpolished case. It comes with its original box, hang tag, and even the Patek Philippe extract from the archives. This right here is an opportunity to own a mint condition example of the most important dress watch ever produced, and it is nearly impossible to find these in this type of condition. Please let me know in the comments below. If you could pick one of these watches to own, which would it be? Make sure to keep an eye out for more content coming soon, as we will be releasing more videos and deep dives into many of these important watches. As always, be sure to check out the Vintage Watch Shop to see each of these beautiful watches in detail, and you can also read more about each piece, so check it out over at huntingtoncompany.com. If you guys have any questions about any of these phenomenal watches, please feel free to comment below or reach out to us on any forms of our social media. I hope you guys have an amazing holiday season, and as always, if you end up purchasing one of these amazing watches or any other watch from the watch shop, I can promise you it will not disappoint.